Good afternoon, everyone. This is Team 9. Last week, we presented the installation of embedded parts and steel structure installation of a pro house. Today, we will introduce you about steel structure installation of multifunctional hall and auxiliary area steel structure installation. First part, we will talk about the steel structure installation of multifunctional hall. The installation of the steel structure of the multifunctional hall, the small dome, will be installed by the in situ assembly method of the high-altitude tile frame, and the overall unloading will be performed after the installation is completed. The main beam and the cast steel node are installed in pieces, and the secondary beam is assembled on the ground according to the lifting performance of the selected hoisting machine as far as possible into a sheet. The installation of cast steel joints and main beams are provided with the installation tile frame and an installation operation platform. The steel structure of the multifunctional hull is mainly installed by a K50-50 tower crane and the CC1000 crawler crane. The cast steel nodes that partially exceed the lifting weight of the tower are installed by the high-altitude sliding method and the fixed-point lifting method. Another 50 tons truck crane is used as component unloading, transshipment, and assembly. The overall installation sequence diffuse installation on the plane from the middle to the surroundings. The elevation is gradually expanded from the lower structural surface to the upper structural surface. When the crawler crane is hoisted outside, the working route of the crane is set at the periphery of the roof. The south road is on the outdoor floor, and the north road is on the basement roof. When working, the ceiling of the basement is reinforced scaffolding. The steel structure of the multifunctional hall roof is divided into 4 construction areas, and the installation is gradually carried out according to the partition structure. The schematic diagram of the plane partition is as follows. The nodes and structure planes included in each construction area, as distinguished as shown below. The installation sequence of the entire roof steel structure is as follows. From south to north, counterclockwise, from the first to the fourth, construction area by area, from the bottom to the upper structure surface. The overall installation order of the small stones is counterclockwise from south to north, lifting one by one. The red arrow indicates the installation sequence of the steel structure. The working condition analysis of the cast steel node of the multifunctional hall is shown in the figure below. A steel crane and a crawler crane are used for hoisting cast steel nodes. Individual nodes are not within the hoisting range. The high-altitude skid plus fixed-point hoisting method is adopted. The working condition analysis of the main beam of the multifunctional hull is shown in the figure below. The figure only lists the section widths of the beams with larger cross-sections and divides them into sections of 15 meters. Taking into account the weight of the corbels of the secondary beams, after the main beams are sectioned, they are all within the range of the bear.
Next, we will explain the auxiliary steel structure installation. Steel column in the process of lifting and correction first need to go through the acceptance before the installation of the measurement control network to check and successfully check the steel column angle bolt embedded position deviation. The deviation must be corrected to ensure that the deviation value does not exceed the standard. Before lifting the column, fix the sling, wind rope, ladder, and operating platform on the steel column. The upper end of the steel column is used to connect the lug plate and the hoist plate for lifting, and the crawler crane is used for lifting and positioning. The steel column is lifted by a single machine turning method. When the column is in place, the axis of the embedded part is used to determine the column displacement. At this time, the crane can load 30% to 40% on the ground structure. After the steel column is in place, two theodolites are used to track and measure it, and the connecting bolts at the bottom of the steel column are tightened after correction to meet the requirements. The top truss structure is shown in the figure below. The longitudinal length of north and south is 19.8 meters and 6.7 meters, and the horizontal span of east-west is 25.2 meters, and the height is 2.4 meters. Installation method. The transverse truss is lifted by SN630 tower crane as a whole, and the longitudinal truss is lifted by micro crane at fixed points. Here are 5 truss sections used in the building. According to the drawing, the size range of each cell plate is length 2200 mm to 3450 mm, width 675 mm to 866 mm. When it comes to a column, it needs to open a hole and seal it with the flat steel of the same specification. The edge is 10 mm away from the column. The position must be laid according to the elevation and the number specified in the drawing. To the right seat accurate positioning and make sure the clearance is 10 mm. The zinc layer, paint, rust, oil, and water must be removed from the surface before welding. In addition to the buildings described above, there are steel stairs, overpasses, grey roofs, and other auxiliary structures distributed in the main stage, rear stage, and multifunction hall.